tribute out to Jim Austin. This is his birthday. He's also having an event tomorrow at the Austin Event Center. It's blues on Thursday, and on Fridays it is jazz. So we got that coming up as well. And of course, pardon me, I'm all choked up behind this. You can catch me on Heaven 97, KHVN Heaven 97, in which you can catch me on 11 o'clock on Saturday. And I will have Reverend Michael Bell, who will be our community champion. He will be there at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning as well. We also have Helping Us Help Her. You know, our women, our treasured women, our women are always, always, always looking for men to follow, not because they are second-class citizens, but because it is our job to be the protectors of our women, to be protectors of our daughters, to be protective of our nieces. And we also have Helping Us Help Her, or as we say in my neighborhood, her, helping us help her. So we have a walkathon that's going on Saturday. Some good things come out of Grand Prairie, Texas. And we have the walkathon that will be at Mike Lewis Park on Saturday morning. So stay tuned for that. We will have Dandrian Gray to call in as well to talk about that. But that walkathon is going to be headed out on Saturday. And last but not least, WFAA, Inside Texas Politics, where you can catch me at 9 on 8. Catch me at 9 on 8. 9 on 8, in which I'll be talking about all of the latest happenings that's in the community. This week, you can catch me as well. But also, we have a caller calling in. Let me correct you. That'll be next week. We have a caller calling in. So let's go ahead and get that caller in, Jesse. We have a caller calling in. Jesse. I will go ahead and allow Jesse to go ahead and get that help that he needs as we go ahead and try to get this caller to call in. So now, as we go ahead and continue, as Jesse runs out very, very fastly to get the caller to call in, as he's looking very, very perplexed. Did you guys see that? You guys saw that? Man, it looks like I'm out of camera angle as well. But meanwhile, we will go ahead and continue with the show as well. So we have Frieda Porter. How you doing?
Hi, Ed. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I am doing fine indeed. So I wanted to go ahead and welcome you to the show, and
Thanks for having
also say hello to your family. I understand you brought your family here
Yes,
as well.
I did.
All right. Okay. Tell us, Jesse, we got the caller. Can you help this dude out with the caller? We got a caller in.
Yeah, that's it. I can't answer the
All right. Dandrian Gray, how you doing?
Well, then yourself, Mr. Gray.
I'm doing fine. We're having technical difficulties. As everyone in America has seen, we are having technical difficulties this afternoon. But we wanted to go ahead and welcome you. We got you live on the air as we speak right now. We have you live on the air. Tell us what's going on at Mike Lewis Park this Saturday.
Well, this Saturday at Mike Lewis Park, Helping Us Help Her will have its 8th annual 5K walk run. It is for a teenage girls organization here located at the office in Grand Prairie, Texas, and we will be having the warm-up start at 7:30. Registration starts at 7, and we will actually start probably on time at 8 o'clock. We will also be giving out scholarships to our senior girls that have participated in the organization. And this organization is an organization that helps empower young ladies build character within themselves and allow them to dream and move forward in life. And this particular event is just one of the 4 major events that we have every year outside of our teen dating and domestic violence. We do a back-to-school retreat in August, and then we have a gala in December. So this Saturday is our 8th annual, and we're excited about it.
I'm excited about it as usual. I've been a big supporter of your organization, and I love
Yes,
very much
you
what you've
have.
done. I love very much what you've done. So I appreciate you for calling in. We have several TV shows. We have several radio shows. And of course, we are now broadcasting this live over the Facebook Live portal. So we appreciate you for calling in. And hopefully everyone will be able to come out on, what day is that again?
That's Saturday, May 19th. It's this Saturday. So if you have not gone online to HUH, which is HUHH, which is the acronym for Helping Us Help Her, HUH.org to register, you still can register. And if not, you can actually come out the morning of the 19th, which is Saturday, and still come out and participate and support the organization.
Sounds great. Sounds great. We'll talk to you later, and thank you for calling in. You are definitely one of our community champions on the Commish radio show.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Ed, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank you now. All right. Then. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Commish radio show. We are back again live up close and personal, and we are now all set this time around. We have Miss Frieda Porter, who's running for Justice of the Peace in Tarrant County. Grand Prairie, is that part of the area that you?
Tarrant Grand Prairie is part of my precinct. South Arlington, all of Mansfield, Kennedale, Rendon, Dalworthington Gardens. I think that just about covered it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You got them all named down and everything. You got to memorize, right?
Well, I got to memorize it. I think I covered everybody. Tarrant County, Grand Prairie, South Arlington, Mansfield, Kennedale, Rendon, Dalworthington Gardens.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, why do you want to be Justice of the Peace? And tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a realtor by trade.
Got it.
I've been a realtor over 17 years. The Mansfield and the Arlington area that you know, the South Arlington area that you know, down Medlock, that didn't exist when I became a realtor. So I helped sell houses and help build that community. I've always been an advocate in some kind of way, fought for civil rights, the civil rights movement with Deborah Lott and with the Arlington AISD. And so I was inspired by President Barack Obama's run, and so I worked as a precinct leader and volunteered on his campaign to help him win this area. Unfortunately, he did not win the area. And so I remember thinking, you know what? I want to become a justice of the peace. I want to serve in my community in that capacity. But I thought that it was something that I needed to go back to school for. And so I went to Vegas, I came back, and a friend, it was just like fate. He caught me in the store and he was like, you would be perfect. You would be perfect. They're looking for someone to run for this position in 2010. And I knew that it was a position that I wanted to serve in. And so it was just like someone was speaking to me and confirming and affirming that this was a position that I would be great in. So it's almost like a cosign. And I just think it is a great way to give back to the community, to help the truants, to help everyone in Precinct 7. So that's why I want to serve as Justice of the Peace.
Now, you ran for office before, correct?
Yes, in 2010.
In 2010, what takeaways do you have from 2010 and that you can say this year it's going to be better this year?
What I have is, when you run for office, I personally think, and I'm not a expert on it, but I think that I have more name recognition. I've connected with more people in the community, not only as a realtor but as a politician, and so I feel that I'm more connected to the community now than I was back in 2010.
Okay.
And so when you're running for office, you kind of got to look at the trends. in politics. And some of the trends that I have seen is African American women being elected into leadership, into office to serve. And I think that this is a good time for us as black women to serve our communities. So that inspired me to want to run again.
Now, it seems like you brought your family here with you. Who do you have with you supporting you?
I have my mother. For those of you who know me,
Let's bring your mother over here close to you, okay? If she don't mind, all right? I'm trying to be discreet about it and tell you, come on in, and, you know, we're going to bring mom in, all right? If you don't mind. Let's give her that best chair.
Mind.
Let's give her that best
didn't know
chair.
if you mind.
Let's give her that best chair right there. Give her that best chair right there.
Mom is on the campaign trail with me. I take care of my mom, and sometimes she has to make an appearance with us.
Right.
And I also have my rock, my husband.
Bring her in
James
closer where we
Porter.
can get a camera angle on. Yeah, we're gonna get you on. We're gonna get you on here. Okay. All right.
This is my husband, James. Say hi, James.
All right. Get the camera angle with him on there. We had y'all in the background, so we never gonna put you on the background on the Commish radio show. So Jesse, go ahead and get the camera angles on, but we want to go ahead and put you on forefront, not on Front Street, but on the forefront of this radio show. That's what we're talking about.
Yes,
all right?
this is my mom, Catherine
Okay.
Graham.
All right. Miss Brown, good to see you. Good to see
Graham.
you.
G-R-A.
Graham? All right. I don't want to call you by another name. Yeah, my apologies, Miss Graham. All right. So, your family is well known in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, aren't they?
Well, I'm not sure, are we?
I think you guys got family members right.
Like what? Like who?
North Dallas Gazette, stuff like that?
North Dallas Gazette. That is my brother. He is the proprietor, the owner of Mun Gazette.
Okay.
Yes, he
All right.
is. And he's a very hard-working man, self-made, successful man. So that's my big brother.
That's your big brother, and I also happen to write occasionally for him, a senior columnist in his newspaper as well. So we'd like
Yes.
to thank your family as well for the hard work and dedication that they've given to this community and
Thank you.
serving this community. And I want your mom to hear that from me, especially.
Yes.
So, you know.
Yes, we, my brother and I, we like to kind of joke, look at Catherine's children. Because her husband died and she raised 4 boys and 2 girls
Okay.
by herself.
Now, where are you at in this 4 boys? And
I'm
2
the
girls?
5th child.
5th, okay.
So she raised a family of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Thurman, he owns Mun Gazette. I'm a realtor. I own Dreamcatchers Realty. And Ricky, he owns Sober Livings in California. And my sister, she owns a tax company.
Good, good.
So we're
good.
all entrepreneurs, business people.
Good. All right. Good. That's great. Now, as we go into campaign, this campaign season, runoff,
Right.
and the election is when?
The election is May 22nd. Early voting started Monday, May 14th. This is the 3rd day of early voting. And so we're asking you guys to come out and vote for Frieda Porter for Justice of the Peace.
Okay. Has mom voted yet?
Oh, Mom voted. I posted her on Facebook.
I saw that. I
Yeah,
saw that.
Mom voted, and little Haley.
Look like she's a little proud over there. ain't
She is a little proud of it. Yeah, little Haley was on the picture. You know, she endorsed me.
Right.
She gave me a video. I shot the video of her
Okay.
because she just
Now,
kept
for
saying.
those of the people that are listening, who's Lil Haley? Who's that?
Haley is my granddaughter.
Okay.
My daughter Monique's child.
Okay.
So she just kept walking around the house saying, "Don't just stand there. Help her. Help my Mimi. She's running for Justice of the Peace." So I said this would be a great commercial, and so I
So it's out
posted
there.
it.
It's out there.
It's out there.
Now, if you are elected Justice of the Peace, what will you do for the people of Tarrant County?
If I'm elected for Justice of the Peace, the Justice of the Peace, for those of you who don't know, we govern over evictions in Precinct 7 small claims up to $10,000. We also govern some minor traffic tickets and truants. Those are kids who basically don't go to school. They're truant because they're not going to school to get an education. So as Justice of the Peace, I am the only candidate on the ticket that supports and have a plan for individualized success plans for the truants. It is my vision for them to, if they're already truant, to be able to test out by taking a GED test and to go into skilled labor training. That way they will be able to get a job to support themselves. And that's not the only issue that we deal with in Justice of the Peace. As a realtor, I have worked in the Justice of the Peace courts as an extension of my job. I've represented tenants, I've represented landlords in the eviction process, and have represented them well and helped them find justice. So I'm all inclusive for everyone. I want to help everyone find justice. The Justice of the Peace also marry people. Currently, the current leadership does not marry anyone because once it became apparent that he had to marry same-sex people, he decided that he wouldn't marry anyone. And my position has been, if you are a public servant, you serve everyone. You don't get to pick and choose who you're going to serve.
So you don't pick and choose which law you're going to
enforce, or exactly. So, the gay community is a part of our community, and they're protected under civil rights. So they have a right to be able to get married in their own community as well as everyone else. And so these are the things that I want to do as Justice of the Peace.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. We are at our 5:20 mark, and when we come back, we will continue with the interview. You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
All right. Okay.
Now, the polls is open, y'all.
Polls are open.
We need
when
you.
When are they closing?
They close at 7.
At 7. Okay.
We need you to go to the polls. We need you to vote for Frieda Porter for Justice of the Peace.
All right. All right. Let's run a couple of drops, and when we come back, we will keep going on.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep these mics live here.
Can I get a little something to drink?
That it messed up again. Fishbowl Radio, they messed up again, man.
How did they do that,
They got America's two most wanted back together again, man.
Come on, we still got our
We
crowns on.
got it. We the kings. We the kings of internet radio.
If y'all didn't know, now y'all know. This is
Okay,
Two
if you guys
Kings of
have any
Fishbowl Radio
questions,
Network
please
right here.
Now you know I'm on in a gray bowl,
Text them
1
in.
to 3 on
We'll go
Saturdays,
ahead
and
answer
you.
those
I'm up in that
questions.
fireball
Johnny
from
Mac
1 to 3.
Wine.
Oh,
All
if
right,
you didn't know,
we got
that's
you,
red.
right here
That's
from
what
Dalwood,
it is.
Johnny
See you
Mac
guys
Wine.
every
Dalwood,
Saturday.
Jim
Don't
Robinson,
miss it.
how
We
you
know you
brother?
ain't doing nothing on
Jose
Saturday
Grant.
from 1 to 3,
Henry
but listen
Brown.
to us.
Henry
Make
Brown
your choice.
of
And it's always with us,
NAACP.
number one.
Two
All
Kings.
right, all right. What's going on, Paula? Marcia Jones, Wesley Craig Omi over in Tarrant County as well. PJ Walker supports us as always. Angie Ransom Jones has joined us. Thank you, Angie Ransom Jones, the mother of the new intern, summer intern.
I'm Pastor Freddie Haynes.
of the,
I
Commish
listen
radio
to the
show.
Commish show
All right.
on the Fishbowl for my social activism information so I can be a better agitator.
My post. On my way to the Commish, Ed Gray, tune in at 5.
I know it's the only way to go. And if I keep walking, I'ma be okay.
Hello, my name is Minister Dominic Alexander, president of the Next Generation Action Network. And whenever I want to hear the real deal, I'm listening to the Commish radio show every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m.
But it's a dream that I ain't seen yet. Chasing a dream that I ain't dreamed yet. But I'ma meet it halfway if I keep on walking. If I keep on walking.
But I'm sure.
Hey, this is CJ Malone of Fans of Nation Studios coming at you live. Need you to listen to your boy, The Commish Show. Politics, music, radio, local things happening in the community. You know they have it all going down here on The Commish Radio Show. Don't miss out.
What's up, beautiful peoples out there? It's your boy Mar, aka Cool Pop Watson, baby. Make sure you check my man out 3 to 5 every Saturday. Commish Radio Show. Make sure y'all come check my man out.
That's good. What does that tell you about Frieda Porter?
Hey everybody, it's Casey Fox, the Lady General, and I consistently listen to the Commish Radio Show, the latest in politics and entertainment.
All right, we'd like to send a shout out to people who are also looking at the video live right now. Baba Kwasi, who I met over at the Mesquite NAACP, and Angela Lucky of the Grand Prairie NAACP. Seems like it's an NAACP day. Last time we saw each other, it was where?
At the Arlington NAACP banquet.
Right. So what did you think about the guest speaker? And tell them who the guest speaker was.
Reverend Al Sharpton. Oh, he was very inspirational. And, you know, he always hold us to task as far as being black people, you know, what our responsibility is. He talked, I think that he spoke to a lot of self-important people that feel that once you get your degree, that you don't have to give back to your community. There are a lot of people who are educated, but what he reminded us that night is that there was a lot of uneducated people that paved the way and sacrificed their lives so that we as African American people, black people, can get an education and we can excel in life. And I like that. I like that message.
Well, we all stand on the shoulders of someone else. That's always been said. But one of the things about this, and I know our viewers know it as well, as Tupac Shakur once said, even a genius asks questions.
Okay.
So, you know, you don't get to learn anything by not opening your mouth and asking a question and going in and saying, I don't know this, how can we do this? So speaking of that, on that vein, how can you make the justice of the peace, the court, it's which judge is this? JP?
This is Justice of the Peace 7. And the courthouse is located on Broad Street, everyone, in Mansfield.
Okay, now how can you make this better? How can you do it better?
Well, I think that leadership has to come beyond the bench. Of course, you want to stay in your purview, what you have been elected for. But I think that you have to give a little bit more of yourself and show an interest in the community by giving back. And that's something that I plan to do, something that I want to do. Especially, even though we do have this truancy issue, young people are truly, I know this is a cliche, they are our future. And as a village, we all have to try and show them a roadmap when they get lost, how you can be successful. That's why success plans are very important for them, because a lot of them, when they finish high school, I know this was true of myself, I didn't know what I was going to do because I hadn't really been exposed to anything. And skilled labor training will allow them to learn a skill and be able to support themselves. And what I found is when people feel successful at something, then they start looking for other avenues to become successful in. So it's like a ladder. You know, you take one step and then you take another step as you elevate. So when you know better, then you do better. And this is how I want to bring, this is what I want to bring to the office to help my community.
Now, have you ran into any difficulty in this campaign season?
Well, you know, politics is always difficult, Ed.
No, really?
Yes. Well, you know, I've ran into some difficulty, but I think it's consistent with the nature of the beast.
Just keep pushing on.
You got to keep pushing on. You know, haters are going to hate. And especially seeing as how I won the primary by 49.92%, you know.
49 point what?
92%.
So how much did you have to get in order to win it outright?
I needed 50% plus 1.
So you was almost there.
Almost is
counts
not
in two
good
things:
enough.
horseshoes and hand grenades. It's like being close. You were close.
I was
So,
very,
you know,
very
the
close.
bomb goes off. You say, "Ooh, that was close."
Did
So,
you
yeah.
guys hear about the mysterious box that they found like 2 weeks after the election?
No, I didn't hear about that. What happened on
Yeah,
that?
Channel 8 contacted me and they said, Frieda, are you going to come down to Tarrant County elections and be there when they open up this box that was sealed with some ballots in it? I posted it on my page.
So what happened? Did you go down there?
Oh, yeah, I went, and they were counting some ballots. But then after a while, you see a lady come in a red dress, and she says, you have the wrong box of ballots.
A wrong box.
The
of
wrong box of ballots. So we were down there, and they had been counting these ballots and was about to recount them, and it was the wrong box of ballots. So, you know, that made me feel crunchy. It made me feel like, what is this about? You know, are y'all competent? What's going on? And then when they actually got the correct box, we were kind of ushered up out the room, because I found out later that candidates cannot be in the room. It's illegal. So I found that out later on. So anyway, basically, I was going to pay
That's
for.
like intimidation if you would be in the room. That's the way they would look at it.
You know,
But
however
either
they
or,
look at it,
they
I
invited,
couldn't be there.
Yeah, you couldn't be there. So you
I couldn't be
excused
there.
yourself.
Yeah. So I thought, well, I will pay for a recount, a partial recount. And I found out that the law says that in the state of Texas, I have to pay for a full recount.
And that's quite expensive, isn't it?
It was going to cost over $16,000.
$16,000.
So that forced
For how
me
many
in a
votes
runoff.
would you? Well, how many votes do you think you would have needed to win?
Well, at
I know you
49
told me the percentage, but can you break that down? Like how many?
I really can't, because you know, probably
Maybe
about
100?
3. No,
No more.
Very little. Maybe about 6 or yeah.
Oh, he got
I
it
think
all
they said
counted.
9. I think.
Okay,
I
we
think
see
the
who does
elections
the
office
taxes in
said
your
9.
house. He got it down 9. You must do the taxes.
Well, I've always thought it was a lesser amount.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
All right. So as you're going into this runoff, well, you're already in it.
I'm in it.
You're in it. How much sleep are you getting on this? 'Cause
Oh, very little. Because, you know, as a women, you all know this. We juggle more than one thing. You know, we can't just focus on our careers. As you can see, I have my mom, my children, although they are grown, I'm a support to them. And then we have what, is it 9 grandkids now, honey? Yeah. We have 9 grandkids. So every time they, you know, every once in a while they want to come and visit. And then I have my business. Just recently closed on a deal. And so as a realtor, so, you know, I'm always juggling.
how do you get your sleep, and when do you sleep?
Whenever I can. Most of the time, I don't go to bed until about after 1.
Now, you've ran campaigns before, and as you go into this campaign, the preparation different and during multiple campaigns as it is during the first campaign?
Well, this time, you know, from the experience of the last time, this time I went to Annie's List.
Annie's List.
Yeah, it was a campaign
Okay.
college.
So the people who listening in and looking in, tell them what Annie's List is.
Annie's List is one of the biggest political PACs that support women in politics. So they had a campaign school, and I found it very enlightening, because what they told us, they said, don't spend your time running in behind elected officials.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, you have these different political groups that give functions, they say, for the community so that they can see the candidates. But most of the time when you go, you're only looking at the candidates. So they encourage us to get out amongst the voters because it's the voters that's going to put us in office. And that made so much sense. You know, you would think that would be common sense, but common sense is not that common. So that empowered me to stay focused on on who was important in this race. Now, there are some groups that, because I wasn't going to their parties or going to their forums, they felt slighted. But, you know, it wasn't my intention to slight them. I'm focused on my campaign, and I'm running to win, which was the theme of the class.
Running to win.
Running to win.
So you're getting out amongst the voters.
Yes.
Block walking, I assume, right?
Oh, we block walk. We've knocked on doors. We have used all the normal or the regular tools that's available to candidates. Yes, mail outs, everything.
Block walking, mail outs. What about endorsements?
You know, I haven't really focused on endorsements. My contributions have been from regular people, as far as Atlanta, California, you know, people that wanted to support my campaign. I believe the endorsements will come after I win.
Now, why is an endorsement after you win important?
Well, it has been consistent. This is my second time running, and normally the people want to make sure that they endorse the winner. That's why it's important. And so sometimes when you have people not supporting your campaign, after you win, they will come on board to try to support the winner.
Okay. Now, are you running as a Republican or are you running as a Democrat?
I am blue all the way through, Ed Gray. I am running as a Democrat, dear.
Okay. I just want to make sure you got red background.
Well, red looks good on me.
All right. Okay.
The Republicans did not invent red, Ed Gray.
All right.
So my lips are
Hey,
red.
let's keep it right. Okay, let's keep it. Let's keep it on politics then. Yeah,
Yeah,
my man.
so I like red. I came into politics loving red, so that was something I did not want to change.
Okay. All right. So now, as you have your success plan going for the truancy, and you explained earlier about weddings and performing same-sex weddings. Let's talk about evictions and foreclosures. This is something.
Well, we don't do sometimes we do foreclosures.
Right, but more so evictions because of apartment complexes. Okay. Could you address that, please?
What is it that you want me to address?
Okay, specifically the JPs. A lot of people, when they think of justice of the peace during eviction, it's never a good thing. No one wants to get kicked out of their home.
No.
And the constable comes by and they put your stuff on the curb and everything. Or no, they don't put your stuff on the curb. The constable told me about that. They make sure that there's peace while other people are putting this stuff on the curb. That's what's the real deal on that. How would your court address evictions? I know it's pretty cut and dry what you can and can't do, but for those people who are listening in, could you explain the process?
Well, the elected justices of the peace have they're basically held to the task of the job. So if someone doesn't pay their rent, you have to follow the law, because you have homeowners that are using their home as a source of income. Maybe that income is to put their children through college, or to support their elderly parents, or maybe even, pay for a funeral. So by them being a owner and wanting to use their home as a source of income by renting it, then you enter a agreement, you enter into a contract that you really need to follow. And so But under the law, the landlord has rights, and the tenant has rights. The tenant has rights as a homeowner, although they don't own the property. But when they stop paying their rent, then they have defaulted on the contract. They've defaulted on the agreement. Now, as justice of the peace, I can make my office a resource where everyone knows their rights up under the law. And so, you know, what you want to do if you find yourself on hard times, you want to try to work that out with your landlord before you get to the justice of the peace, because the justice of the peace is going to go by what is in the contract, what is in the lease, and that's all that we can do. So that's all I can do, is make my office a resource for tenants as well as landlords, because there are some landlords that get it wrong. When you don't pay your rent, your landlord has to serve you a 3-day notice and not make a monetary demand. A lot of people don't know that, because if they make a monetary demand, then that eviction case can get thrown out, and they have to start all over again. And they have to serve you a certain way, either through certified mail, and they have to record that. So there are steps to a proper eviction. And then there are illegal evictions, and that's something that the tenant needs to know.
Now, explain an illegal eviction.
Well, an illegal eviction is when the landlord just come and put you out, or they lock you out, or maybe they put your stuff on the curb and they have not gone through the process of evicting you properly. And everything is on a timeline once you file. So that would be an illegal eviction. If they lock you out, they put you out, or they tell you you gotta go without serving you that notice, then, you know, that's illegal. So you do have rights as a tenant.
Now, you explaining this very straightforward. I'm sure that our people that are listening in are getting an education, because I know I am as
Thank
well.
you.
Speaking of those people who are listening in, Gwen Sadler says hello.
Hi, Gwen.
Michelle McGregor.
Michelle,
And she's
thank
joined
you
us
for
as
tuning
well.
in.
Ricky Sally.
Thank you for your support.
Stephanie Shelton.
I'm so glad you guys are
Raj
tuned in.
Penn. Judge Etta Mullen.
Now, I
is
hope
on
you
it.
guys are voting for Frieda Porter.
And Todd Adams. MBA.
Hi, Todd.
Now, business in your district, you've seen this area of what Tarrant County grow.
Mm-hmm.
The economy's doing good. It's doing well.
pretty good.
It's doing pretty well right now. How can we, as homeowners, I know I'm gonna step out of the box here, as homeowners, as we are trying to make sure our property values go up and everything, how can we make sure that we don't end up on that eviction list?
As homeowners, the only way that you're going to,
And I'm asking this as realtors. I want to change hats a little bit on that as well. Come put both hats on that.
well, as a homeowner, you would have to default on your loan and go into foreclosure. And actually, the foreclosure don't have anything to do with me, but eventually, if they win the foreclosure against you, they're going to file in the JP of that area to have you evicted. So, you know, you got to pay your house note. You know, you got to pay your mortgage to keep from getting evicted. So that's